friends. Do you know where I'm at? I'm at our playground at church. So I'm in the sandbox and I thought, wouldn't it be a really fun idea to count all the pieces of sand? What do you think? Can I do it? Maybe. Will you help me? Okay, so I grabbed a big scoop and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I think this is going to take a lot longer. So I better get counting. But in the meantime, all this sand reminds me of a story about how God made a promise. So let's go ahead and jump into the Big God story, and I'll just keep counting.
It's time for the Big God story! Yay!
Our story today comes from the very first book of the Bible. It's called Genesis. Now, this part of the Big God story is about a family, a really big family that God promised. So remember last week we learned that Adam and Eve were the very first people that God created. And God made a beautiful garden home for them, but then they had to leave it, didn't they? Because they disobeyed God. Well, after they left, Adam and Eve had some children. And then those children grew up and made their own families. And then those families grew and grew and grew and grew until the whole world had lots and lots and lots of people. But sadly, there were people who started to believe in pretend gods. Now, there's only one true God, right? But most people, they had forgotten all about him. Well, one day, God spoke to a man named Abraham. And God told Abraham,
"Leave your country, your people, and your father's house, and go to the land that I'm going to show you."
So Abraham obeyed. Well, God made a very special promise with Abraham called a covenant. Now, a covenant is a special promise. So when God makes promises, he always keeps them. God promised that Abraham's family would grow really big and really important. God said that Abraham's family would be so big, it would be like trying to count the stars in the sky. Have you ever gone outside and tried to count the real stars in the sky? Well, there's so many, we don't even see all of them, and we can't count all of them. That's a lot of people. He also said that there would be as many people in his family as there was pieces of sand in the desert. That's a lot of people, right? Well, God also said that his family would be God's special people. And he promised something else too. He promised Abraham that he would bless the whole world because of Abraham. Well, Abraham obeyed God, and he and his wife Sarah and their nephew and all their belongings and animals, they left. And Abraham trusted God and followed God to a new home. Well, God kept his promise, and Abraham's family grew and grew and grew. Can you imagine being in such a big family? Well, did you know that you can be in God's family too? God made a way for that to happen. God gave us Jesus. And God promises that when we know and we love Jesus, we can be a part of his great big family too. Would you like to be a part of God's big family? If you do, then just pray with me. Okay. God, we love you and we want to be a part of your big family. Thank you for sending Jesus. Amen. All right, now if you are praying with me and if you really, really do want to be a part of God's big family, then guess what? You are. Make sure to tell your mom or dad and ask them to tell me too, because I want to celebrate this with you. Now, don't go away yet, because I have some things for you to talk about with your mom and dad, and they're gonna pop up on the screen right now. Okay, bye.